So let's get started by looking first at your TEKs. I went ahead and pulled up the no-show chart for 26F. This is a TEK that y'all started. Tell me last week. You started this TEK last week? Did you teach it direct? I explicitly teach it.
Yes.
Okay. So then this should be like your second to third. I mean, you've been doing inferencing multiple times.
We started. No, this week will be the first time of inferencing. This week.
This week will be what?
The first inferencing.
Inferencing. Okay, so the first explicit teach of inferencing. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so looking at the know it. Zamudio, what do students need to know?
For inferencing?
Mm-hmm. This is blue column right here.
Their background knowledge. So they need to know what the text is about?
Mm-hmm. Do you know, when it says the author doesn't explicitly state everything in the text, what does that mean to you?
That it doesn't show what is it about? Kind of like the answer?
So the author's not going to say it to you directly,
Okay,
right?
so like today, we read, remember that book you gave us to read your problem? Like
Yeah,
the one,
what to do with your problem. Yeah.
With your problem. So we read what to do with your idea.
Uh-huh.
And they were like, oh my gosh, we read this. Like they made the connection.
Making the connection.
And it didn't tell us what the idea was.
Right.
We read it for the aha moment.
Uh-huh.
But it didn't tell us what the idea was, but they were making an inference. Like one of them said it's a bird, and then like they were just making up.
Okay.
The answer of what it was gonna be.
So then what I would say to that is yes and no.
Okay.
Do you mind? Yes, because they're using their background knowledge to kind of make predictions about what's happening. No, because there's nowhere. Was there evidence from the story to support?
No.
Okay, so they were just making straight predictions.
They were just making predictions. Yeah.
Right. So the difference between that and an inference is that the inference, they're going to be finding evidence from the text itself.
Okay.
Yep. To anchor their thinking. Right.
Okay.
So if one of the pictures had the boy cutting out feathers and they made an inference about a bird,
Okay.
that would connect because you have evidence with the thinking. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I just thought it was cool that they knew that it was.
No, yeah, I love that. I love that.
They were like the problem.
Text to text connections,
Yes, and
rocking
they
it.
also said like it's gray, like is it sorry gray, and
Uh-huh.
not the color. I was like,
I love it. I love it. What else? So good readers they need background knowledge. They also need evidence from the text. So for the show it, what do students need to show? Saragosa, can you give us some information?
So verbally stating an inference and the supporting evidence. So they need to show their evidence that they're supporting, even if they're giving verbal.
Mm-hmm.
We can assist them in that with sentence stems.
Okay. So the sentence stem example here is I can infer because. What's the purpose of the because?
The text evidence.
Gotcha.
The evidence.
The evidence.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I also want to look at 27C, which is another TEK that's a double dipper that was from last week and this week that you guys are going to be assessing. It might have been just like one of your background TEKs, but it was listed on the scope and sequence, correct? And that's just using evidence to support your answer.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm not gonna actually do it about something.
So 27C, use text evidence to support an appropriate response. For the know it, they need to know how to find supporting details, claims. They need to know, it's kind of genre, it can be genre specific, so they're looking for specific information from different genres. And then how to show it, they're going to defend their answer. So this one kind of goes hand in hand with inferencing, right? Because that's that evidence piece of the inference. Does that make sense? Okay, so I'm going to slide back over to the 6F because I think this is going to be a good one for us to look at as we're looking at the CFA. Okay, for the CFA, I pulled it from HMH. The story is called The Traveling Books. And you've got two documents here. There's one that is this, which is the actual book questions. So go ahead and do y'all want to do you want to do the word, the threes where they do like the word comprehension stuff? Number one, words in context, which were, oh no, this is synonyms and antonyms. So it's 3.3D and then 3.3B.
Yes.
Well,
because one of our low I-ready scores is
vocabulary.
And I think they're going towards making that a big focus overall. So
yeah.
I would like to test it.
Okay, so do you want to test both synonyms and words in context? Yes. Look over the questions and just make sure that they both work for you. Read the sentence from paragraph 1.
Essentially, this would be 5 questions in all. Is that what you're saying?
Well, that's the issue with it. So here's the thing. Author's Purpose is a new one this week. 3C that's another. So there's 3 word problem or 3 vocabulary questions. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's too many.
Yeah.
So I would like for y'all to choose one probably of those. And then there are 2 10A questions, which is your new TEK this week. And then I have added also, got some support from the bot, from the Panorama bot, to create an inferencing question and an evidence question. Okay. So, or not an evidence question. 8B is characters. Relationship between, yes, it's characters. The relationships between, okay. Oh, I did it again. Hold on. Did I do? Sorry, hold on. I created a multiple choice question for 3.8B instead of 2.8B. So hold on. Okay, this is more in line with how you guys teach it. I'm just going to post it up here. And the reason I added the 8B is because that was from last week and I want to get some data on. Right? Is that last week or this week? On your scope?
For
2.8B?
8B is last week.
Yeah. Okay. So we're getting a quick dip on last week and then also a dip on, so the new question. Okay, so looking at questions 1, 2, and 4, what are we choosing?
I would like 2.
2? Okay.
1 and 2. I feel like the number 4 asks them about easiest. Well, I don't know.
Have you explicitly taught?
Not EST, so I don't think.
Okay, I wouldn't do 4 then.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've done ED and ING, so we haven't. Yeah, that's not correct.
Okay, and then question number 3 and question number 5 are your 10A questions.
Both of them.
Which we can include both if you want to, but then that would put you at 6 questions.
I like 5.
What's the author's purpose for writing the article? And then what was number 3? Which clue best helps you know the passage genre? I like 3. Just because I know they struggle with genre,
But
but
I feel like they struggle with the author's purpose too. Like
they do.
they did.
They do.
They both play into each other, and I like both. And I want
Maybe
both.
it's at the same.
I do. I will say though, I think number 5 is lends itself more to like 3rd grade, like where we're trying to go. But I'd like to change the answer choices, if nothing else. I feel like the persuade, inform, I feel like that's a little too simple. Agree or disagree?
Maybe we could look at what the 3rd grade one looks like. The third choice.
Oh, good choice. Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen
That was 10A. IQ analysis.
because all that's on my head is like how we tested it in past years, and it does look like that. But again, we can
Grade
change it.
3. Okay, so I'm pulling up the lead forward. We're going to go SEs. 10A, yes? And I'm only going to pull the last 3 years. Submit. Okay. Ooh, what are the most likely reasons the author includes the section extreme jumpers, and they're choosing 2? What is the most likely reason the author wrote the article? More than air. And then
So you see, like, what is the reason the author wrote?
what is the most likely reason the author wrote the article? But okay, so look at the answer choices though, to show that Jude is bored, to show that Jude needs help. Even the ones where it's talking about wrote the article. It's very.
This does say if they're telling, explaining, describing, highlight. Okay.
To persuade people to become a librarian, to inform people about librarians, to entertain people with make-believe story, to teach people about how to share books. I don't know. What are your thoughts? It's not too far off.
Yeah, I think that the way that the answer choices are written is good, but we could just change how the question.
The question
with
stem.
what's most likely.
Okay. What is most likely the reason?
Yeah.
Okay.
The author's reason for writing like an article.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then really quickly, since we've been talking, take a look at 6F, and then also I'm going to flip back over to the 6B. Make sure that the question looks good. Like vet it for me.
Yes.
Oh, you're right. Are you still on the forward?
No, but I can flip back over. Here you go.
Can I see what a 6F question looks like?
6F?
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
they specifically say like, what can you infer?
Not usually. But I could be lying.
I feel like this one is always the one that's embedded in other questions, right?
Yeah, it kind of goes hand in hand with something else. Oh, just
yeah.
kidding. What can the reader infer about Kevin's friends from paragraphs 4 through 10? Okay, so that matches. Is that okay for you?
I just want to make sure if I'm stressing the word infer,
Yeah.
You
So
know.
be thinking about that in teaching,
they
right?
need to know that.
Okay, what about the relationship? No. This is character traits, yeah? Isn't that how you teach it in second grade? Like, I don't know yet.
I don't know. I'm going one day at a time.
Well, because like at this point, all we've taught was the picture day perfect, and it was really heavy on just that one character talking about him and
Like how he
who he
feels.
was as a character.
Okay.
So we haven't compared character to character. in
Oh wait,
story.
that's the one. That's wrong. That's look at that one.
Oh, my bad.
I'm sorry. No, it was my fault because I did that one for a third grade teak.
Oh,
What did we change it to?
yeah.
That? Didn't we have like external traits and
Internal
So-
and external. Mm-hmm.
But that, like, that's one of those things they don't need to clarify between if it's an external or internal. That's just part of our teaching. Am I correct? They're never going to be like, what external trait do you see?
No, it
Internal,
won't. No,
right?
and honestly, the way it develops, because this turns into really the focus is, my opinion is the focus should be like the internal stuff, like what are the feelings, what are the thoughts, what's going on inside, right? Because that is what's going to develop later. Because in third grade, they're talking about relationships and interactions between people, and say like somebody explodes because they're feeling angry about something, right? And then the interaction is an argument. That's where that internal external stuff comes from. Does that make sense?
So when you're teaching it, you can say like, this is an external trait, blah blah blah. This is internal, but I wouldn't be sitting there
It doesn't
drilling
go
the
with
quick. What's an internal trait, or what because that is
And
just
then-
thinking about the character as a whole.
Okay.
I also want to talk to, like, you can give me more information on this, but when you're talking external traits, we're not talking about like, oh, he has brown hair, it's curly, right? We're talking about
That is
he's
part of-
athletic.
That
Or is it
part
both?
is specifically in our teaching
It's on our
in that book. Like that's a part that they do talk about that, but on top of that, we are talking about what physical actions they're taking as well.
What do you mean by physical action?
Like things they do.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, if someone were to hit somebody, like that's an action that they.
So it's not really a
But
trait then, it's more of, okay. What does your anchor chart look like?
A little boy, one side says external, one side says internal.
How does it describe it?
Um,
Oh, pause. Let me wrap this up. How do you feel about the questions? Are the questions okay?
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's 5 questions.
And that actually led us straight into the next question. What do we want students to learn? So, okay, I'm going to pull up the anchor chart.
Mm-hmm.
This is for, oh wait, you're teaching it this week.
No,
We did last week. For
Okay.
The character.
Never mind. I don't want to waste time on last week's stuff. Never mind. Okay. All right. So teaching this week, you start getting into like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm sorry. Can you back up? Look at 6F. I really want, so for this one, I do want to dig in on what you want. What you're wanting your
Workshop.
evidence to look like. Yeah. So if you'll take like maybe 2 minutes, I don't even, a minute and a half, and look over that question and then find the evidence. Like, how do you want your students to show that they know? Let me know when you are ready to talk. Thoughts? Are you ready? No, not ready?
Yeah, I'm just not too sure how they can show it because since it's in the computer, and like I remember when we were in school, we used to read the paragraph and then make a little summary of the paragraph, and then you go back. So what I did, but I highlighted, so
That's
I
okay.
don't have the paper.
No, that's okay.
So I did like the question, I put in infer, and then who lived in the mountains because that's what I'm trying to find.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went back to paragraph 2, I guess. The people were glad to get them. That means they were happy.
Yes.
And I also put live in the mountains were far from the towns. And people, it was hard for people to find books to read.
Okay.
So my answer was C. They value reading, but they just didn't have the access to get the books. So it was hard for them.
Okay.
They were far away.
So, what were the sentences that you underlined?
Still people were glad to get them.
Okay.
Live in the mountains were far from town. And hard to find books for people to read.
Far from towns. Hard to find books. I underlined some of that. What was yours, Cass?
I boxed in for the same parts of the question, and then my evidence was there were no roads for the librarians to follow.
Mm-hmm.
In connection to had limited access.
Okay. Okay, I
But
didn't pull
also,
that
like,
one.
they were glad. I feel like this one is a 2-part. They need to find 2 pieces of evidence.
Agreed. Which you had 2 pieces, right?
She had like 3.
Yeah. I put, let's see.
But I'm not sure. So how would they show it on their paper?
They write
Do you know
down the
how
quote.
for mine the first one they
Okay,
do
so-
is letting know?
That's a great question because if you're wanting them to be able to transfer, we might need to be thinking about some sort of symbol that they can use to show an inference, right? So instead, or they can just pull the word inference, but if you put a symbol to it, you're kind of layering that learning, I guess. What would you, like, what would be a symbol for inferencing? Thinking about what it takes to inference.
In years past, I've used a plus sign, but they're actually adding 2 things together.
Okay.
But because that's our anchor chart is like
BK plus E. Background knowledge plus evidence.
oh yeah. Well, I think they like do like their head
1 plus 1.
plus the book.
100. Would that be something? But then that'll take it to math.
Yeah.
Okay.
It might transfer it that way.
What?
The actual
The anchor chart
anchor
itself.
chart has a book plus a speech bubble or their head or something like that, but that's a little bit much for them to draw. So
What's the language on the anchor chart like? I mean, honestly, you could just do an I for infer.
I do like the idea of having them connect to something on the anchor chart though, because that lets me know that they were
Internally, like taking it in.
going and looking for these things.
What about the
Magnifying
The
glass?
magnifying glass is a picture for one of our other things. And I'm just saying, because like I've
Yeah.
worked with these anchor charts for, yeah, and I know that might be kind of, I don't want to give them a symbol that's going to
Confuse them.
Come up with
them.
something else.
What lesson number is that inferencing? I want to pull up the exact anchor chart.
Okay.
Lesson number?
Yes. 3 or 4? It's not 4. Oh, 3. Okay. It is, yeah, a book plus the boy's head.
Let me see. I mean, you could do,
They could literally just write down the text
Oh, see,
plus
yeah.
something they know. Like if they.
I mean, a book is just a rectangle with a line in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm. And a face.
Yeah.
And then,
Plus a smiley face.
Yeah.
or a thought bubble, either
Thought
or.
bubble. Yeah.
Okay.
I would also have them write down, because the parts that you underlined were the book,
Okay.
so they could put that underneath it.
Oh, smart. So they can show you. And then also, Zamudio, for me, whenever I have them pulling evidence out of the text, I want to know what paragraph it came from, just for easy reference. So I give them the paragraph symbol. So for me, I'm pulling from paragraph 2, and then I would write the words,
So on their paper, they need to put a paragraph 2 in there.
paragraph 2, hard to find, and glad to get them.
On that.
That's what I would be looking for from my kids.
Okay.
Would you be looking for something different or more? That works for you too?
Yeah.
Okay. So then when you're, excuse me, modeling it, I mean, you could probably have them practice where on that little annotation side of their,
My book.
Yep.
Side note on the actual test. You need
Yes.
to link the questions all to the resource.
Did I do it wrong on y'all's too?
The first one was on it, but then the rest weren't like actually linked, so they had to keep flipping back to the story.
I apologize
But-
because I did that to 3rd grade as well.
Yeah.
So, link the questions.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay, so moving on from tests and into,
Next week,
yeah,
lesson plan.
yes. And really, actually, as we are talking about that, let me, okay, so what do we do for the students who know? What do we know? I'm kind of skipping a little bit, but like, what do we, for the students who know, what are you going to do? For the students who don't know, what are you going to do? I feel like y'all talking out the symbols would be something helpful for the students who don't know, but what else? Like a plan for differentiation maybe, or a reteach point.
Maybe something for kids that do know it would be them creating little hidden message, like riddle type.
Hmm. Like an inferencing riddle?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be fun.
And then I did go ahead and I found some inferencing sheets. Not sheets, but they're like little passages.
Okay, what is that?
It's just like it's an easy way for you to keep in short about
Like small paragraphs.
inferencing. Like there's still, like it's not even, it's one paragraph.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be used for the kids that don't understand.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's for the ones that.
Mm-hmm. Or two, have you ever done the picture inferencing? We talked about that
yeah.
last year. That might be an easier way to start with them,
Yeah.
the picture inferences. And then go into, you might use those paragraphs though for like your guided practice or your exit ticket.
So I've been trying to mess with our lesson plans a little bit for reading, of having something that's different than my book
Mhm.
for the open.
Yep.
The direct teach of it, I do.
Yep.
So I put these little passages into the I do part.
Perfect.
But then I'm wondering, like, which one would be better, the passage or the pictures for an I do? Or for my model piece? Would the pictures be more of these kids getting pulled to the side?
I think the pictures are going to be more for small group just because we're having to be so explicit with like how you're pulling evidence from the text and all of that stuff. I feel like that needs to be anchored in a piece of text.
Yeah.
Right? You agree?
And it's easier for us to show them, like if if we want that work to be shown that way, then you can grab these passages instead of going straight to the My Book and model, yes, your thinking coming out of the passage. And then I'll see if I can find those inferencing photos.
And then so for the kids who know, they're going to do an inference riddle.
I'm writing this into. And they're creating their own riddle.
I'm asking.
I'm sorry, I found a few things.
You found a few things for what?
I forgot I put all this in here.
Oh, okay. Directions for creating your own riddle. Choose your topic, think of 3 clues, use describing words, write your riddle, test it out. And then it has an example. I carry heavy loads on my back. I have 4 legs and a long tail. I help people travel over mountains. I say nay when I'm happy. What am I?
A horse.
Is that okay?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna copy that into I'm just gonna share this document with you that has the CFA stuff in it, plus this. And then the video, just to make sure that like we talk about it, like the misconception with inferencing, you'll notice right off the bat, the kids want to use their own thinking like more than anything else. And they will say some wild things, and you'll be like, "Where on earth did you come from with that?" So just make sure that you're really emphasizing and hitting hard that whatever the inference is, it has to be anchored by what you read.
Would that be good? Because there's like little by little.
Yeah.
If it was like, it's a ladybug.
For pictures?
Yeah, but it starts like small.
Oh,
You
nice.
see. So what do you think is in there? And then I get like to say, let's start thinking.
Yeah.
And then you go to the next one. Like a PowerPoint. I'll download that send it to you.
Just put it on the listen thing.
Okay.
Another thing too, just make sure when you're doing your pictures that you're focusing on, like for the pictures, the way that you're splitting it out, like that background knowledge piece plus the inference, you're like, what do you see? And like they can't tell you anything. So, hold on, let me pull up. Okay. Okay, so here's my picture. My first question is like, what do you see?
Water.
Okay. See water. Where do you see water?
The floor.
On the ground. Okay. What else do you see?
A dog.
A dog. What else do you see?
The kid.
A kid. Okay.
Rain boots.
Rain boots. Okay. What else do you
Grass.
see? Grass. Okay. Neither of you made the mistake of saying it rained, right? But that would be the inference, right? So
You don't see
I
that.
don't see that it rained. I see the boys wearing rain boots, and I see that there's water on the ground, and those two things make me think it must have rained. So my inference is it rained because I see rain boots and water on the ground. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So just make sure when you're doing your pictures that you're really honing in on
Nice.
what do you see, like what is actually there, right? That evidence piece before they get to the imprints. All right, what else are we gonna talk about?
Next week. Really, we just have our vocabulary.
How is that going? The vocabulary routine?
I like it, but it's also partnered with like another explicit teach of some type of either synonyms or inflections. So like, it's really nice because we've been able to connect really well to writing.
Uh-huh.
And then I feel like there's like a really good flow because right now like our mentor sentences is past, present, future, but one of our explicit teaches last week was the inflections of ed and ing.
Yes.
And so like they're
It's
doing all with the
connected.
connections, and
So it's good.
I think it's working well.
And are you, remind me, using it as a whole day or are you
Yeah.
just, okay, so
Yeah,
you're
'cause
doing
it's
like
two
one
separate
full day.
lessons. The vocabulary lesson, if you go through it correctly, and they're only doing it for 5 vocabulary words, even though there's a few words that come up in every book.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm starting to see the power behind them understanding these words. And the
Because they're
background knowledge before we
they're
start reading
carrying
the book.
over to other places, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're just understanding the text that we're reading a little bit better because some of these things that come up in it,
Mhm.
they had no idea about.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
I wish there was a little bit more of an activity that was background knowledge on like anything that's gonna come up, like this coming up week. We're gonna add that in, but we're having to find these things like we're about to talk about matter.
Mm-hmm.
Before we read that text, I need to introduce you to matter. Solids, liquids, and gases, like just like the
But
word.
they do have foundation in that because they did it in
Science.
first grade
Yeah.
in science.
And we
So,
did it in science,
Yeah, but they're still.
not there.
but they do have
Well,
a pebble.
They have a tablet, yeah. But I'm saying like that's one example. All of our texts.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We tend to come across things that are like very,
Mm-hmm.
never heard of this before.
Yeah.
So the vocabulary is a nice step in the direction. But
You just
I would
need
also like
more.
to see something that's
I need
a
help.
background, like just something that introduces what we're
Just to
coming into.
give you some more
The book has
information.
like, ooh, meet the author right before we read it. But like,
That
sometimes
doesn't
there's a
really
background-
support the reading
sometimes
itself.
there's a background video before instead of meeting the author, and that's great. But
Okay.
just side note,
Something to think
we're just
about.
gonna fill in when we, yeah.
Great on that part.
Okay. What else for? What are your other?
Okay. Make connections, connect text and visual,
Mm-hmm.
and then elements of poetry. And we have a choice day for Friday, and I didn't know which one to pick. There's creating mental images or setting. So I don't know which one we want to.
Module 2, week 2.
For next week, yes.
Setting. Book sticks.
Yeah, my only problem is that we will use that as an actual lesson later on.
Oh, you will.
Wait, no, that's that actual that's module 2, week 2.
What is this? Okay, lesson 6, read aloud plus book sticks. Week 1. Okay, what am I reading wrong here? T-E.
You're in week 1.
I need y'all for 5 more minutes. Okay, I'm sorry. So the book sticks lesson says lesson 6, but I'm not seeing it. Oh, it must be, wait. Am I in the wrong, I'm in the wrong module or in the wrong week. Sorry. Get it together, girl. Okay. What was it, lesson 6?
Mm-hmm.
You said you do or do not?
I think we do 6.
When do you do it?
That is correct on, it's 2.2. I thought it was a different week.
Okay, so it's not like it's not going to be a repeat lesson.
Yeah.
Okay. Just reading over briefly the book 6 part of it, I honestly would probably use this one. Just because.
I love this story.
And it also has kind of some leanings towards inferencing, so I feel like it ties into what you guys have already been doing. There's like what clues in the text and pictures tell you the time of day, what has woken the Wimbledons now. So yeah, I would do that one. What else? Zamudio? What questions do you have? What's rolling around in your head?
I'm still a little stuck in that vocabulary part.
You're still what?
Stuck on the vocabulary.
Okay, what part of the vocabulary is sticking you?
I think I need to go watch her do the lesson so I can.
Have you read through it yet?
Yes, but I remember I'm like not the best at reading through it like that.
Okay,
It stresses me
I
out.
know that you're not the best at
Yes.
reading through it. It stresses
But
you
I'm
out,
trying,
but
I'm trying. But what I did last time, because I was so confused, so I made like groups and I gave them the word and I was like, you have to look for the definition and draw a picture.
mm-hmm.
And then we got back together as a classroom. So it was for spoon.
Okay.
So like blue, it's not the color blue, right? So they went back to the book, copied the definition, and then when they came back, they explained it to the class.
Okay.
So they understood, like, well, because when we read the book, they knew that blue meant to be sad.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still having like a struggle to follow every single thing. I think I need to go watch you do that.
The actual vocabulary part?
Yes.
Why don't you just record it, Cassidy?
Oh, I could do that.
That'd be easier, wouldn't it? I mean, we just record it on Monday and let her see it, and then that way, if anybody else needs it, we can share that.
Yeah.
That works?
Yeah, it's very boring, basic.
That's
the script work.
That's why I'm like, I'm kind of like, what's
Nice one.
sticking you? Okay.
I guess it stresses, you know, like, I don't know.
Is it just because it's so structured that you're
Yes,
struggling
I
with it, you
that-
think?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, you can always put your flair into it,
So that's
right?
why I did that, but I don't want to, like, miss out some parts, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I think as long as you are hitting, you're not making them guess. Like so I think part of it is them not having to come up with the meaning of the words on their own, and like you're explicitly teaching each word to them.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, however they come up with their sentence or whatever you're making them use it, that's fine. Instead of just doing a turn to talk, you can change however you want to. Because I'm pretty sure in one of them, can you scroll down?
yeah.
It changes like at the end. And now, granted, time purposes, my friend said,
Okay, this is the
this
one
they
thing.
want us to fill in."
This is the one thing that's catching me, like the synonym antonym part. Oh, or give examples or not. Does this work every single time? Are they choosing words that this works for every time?
I didn't realize that they didn't fill this in for us. So I guess they now want us to fill these in.
Okay. Okay. Is
I
that?
You know what
I
I
would
mean?
like
I
to
was
know
just
your-
letting them do it. Like, look for the definition.
Well, I
do a
think,
sentence,
honestly-
do a picture, and then come back and teach the classroom. Because they're probably going to learn better from...
Right, and I don't see anything wrong with the way you did it, to be
Okay.
honest. I mean, I think a little bit more explicit instruction is a little, you know what I mean? But y'all's group too, like knowing the kind of group that you have, they are a little bit, they know a little bit more about stuff. Why can't it just be done?
Why can't curriculum do that part?
I cannot answer that for you. So,
Just because I do like the idea that, especially for brand new teachers, this being stated for them. Because if you're going to ask new teachers to do this, it does need to be
especially if you've never seen the routine before. Yeah.
Or like just someone who doesn't feel confident in even like English language needs to be able to know seriously like what a synonym of this word is and not maybe be creating that on their own. I'm just saying.
I wonder though, let me do this. Can I challenge you, Zamudio? Let me challenge you to this. I would like to see you take the template and actually fill in the things, right? Make it your own, and then you can bring it to me and we can talk it over. And I can kind of give you some guidance on that. That way you're one, taking it in, internalizing it, right? But then also, I think if you were planning this out beforehand, it would give you a lot more confidence when you're doing it. And it'll give us an opportunity to kind of be like, no, we don't like this part, keep it, or don't keep it. Okay? So can I challenge you with that this week?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, I guess that's all the time I have that's all the time y'all have, so.